Welcome back, everybody. I'm gonna move this. Welcome back. What's up? What's happening? It's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I am tired. Welcome in. Okay, if you are new to my channel, if you're new to watching this, because I know there are a lot of people that are saying, "Hey, I follow you now that you are at open, whatever." Welcome in. So I go packing live at least once or twice a week, usually 3 times a week. In the mornings, usually I'm going to try to do a late night session every once in a while for the people on the West Coast. Juliet, good morning. I could have almost guaranteed I would have put money on you being first. But yeah. So if you're new, you're going to also hear me talk about my eBay sales. We're going to go over Poshmark sales, Mercari sales, and Depop. I cross-list to all those using Nifty. So also, when I talk about sales, you're going to hear me talk about two different things. Good morning, Andrew. DM, good morning. You're going to hear me talk about three things on eBay, especially regular sale, promoted listing. A lot of people ask me about if I promote during open. And then you're going to hear me say that was a Nifty sale. And I know that because of the price it sold for. This is a Nifty sale. Nifty sends out offers, and it also is my cross lister, and it also does all the automation and your analytics and your spreadsheet and delist, relist. So you're going to hear me talk about that. If you rewatch this later, that's what that's about. And I'll say, everyone, hi. It's better than Mendo, better than List Perfectly. If you're doing any of those, trust me. So I'm just going to say that right off the bat if you're rewatching this later, so you know what I'm talking about. I'll put the link for the free trial in the box below or in the chat. And then also you can go to searchupfinds.com. Then we'll move on. Amy D, what's up? Welcome back. Thank you. Rodzilla, good morning. Melissa, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm tired. Yesterday was my first morning back. I slept till like 10. And this morning I had to take the kids to school bright and early. Back to work. Pam, good morning. So what I got to do is not nap today. That's how I prevent from staying up too late tonight. Good morning. Good morning. Poshmark has been incredible for me lately. Let's go, Andrew. I hope so. As you guys know, I was gone, so I was in vacation mode on a lot of them. Poshmark, I sold 4 things. I need Poshmark to, do well. Poshmark needs to perform. I also have not cross-listed in a while. So that's something I need to do. Chris, good morning. Good morning, Justin. Welcome in. Faith, good morning. Morning from Calhoun's. I saw that. Faith, I saw Kway sent me a message that you were brought Bucky, what are they? Bucky Nuggets to Kway? That's not fair. Good morning. Up early for a time change. I know. It's, oh boy. It is early. Dora, good morning. Back from Vegas. I am back to the normal lifestyle of packing and shipping. Got to start listing stuff. Took a ton of pictures intended to list while I was there. I did not. I was really focused on presenting and making sure my mind was right for that when I was there. I wasn't really thinking about other things. I didn't want to get my mind off the prize. Are you been stealing from me? You've been stealing from me? What, for my stores, Andrew? What are you talking about? My custies, what you talking about? How is Backstreet Boys? Amy D. If you guys don't know, I saw Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. Like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. I always used to sing those songs. You know, I wasn't too cool, whatever. But at the Sphere, it was unbelievable. There's no way a concert could be as good as that. I mean, Taylor Swift puts on a good concert and Coldplay puts on a good concert. It's interactive, but it's just unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. So yeah, that was awesome. Awesome. If you have an opportunity to go see them, I know they're coming back residency for like 6 nights right after Christmas. It's unbelievable. What's up, everybody? When I open eBay, it tells me that stuff needs promoted. And most generally, I promote those items daily I have a campaign going. Are you paying double ad charges? No, I'm not. So also eBay has like first of all, you can promote at a regular rate or a dynamic rate, which is what eBay prefers, or what they're probably asking you if you want to do, which I did it once, it wasn't worth it to me. There's like a paid promotion where they like you pay per day, like $5 per day or something, to have them send out your promoted items like more out there more. I don't do it. It wasn't worth it for me. I sold like 2 things and I ended up paying $25. Wasn't worth it to me. Thanks, Amy D. Appreciate you. Can we see your presentation anywhere? Yeah, I heard they're going to post the presentations to YouTube on eBay. So I'm not for sure when that's going to be. Let me see if I can see that. Or not to eBay, freaking YouTube. What am I talking about? Does eBay even have like an eBay channel? I don't know. eBay, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys know when I get if I find it or whatever. But yeah, it was fun. Love Coldplay. Me too, Ralph Black. Coldplay is amazing. I've seen them smaller venues and larger venues. The stadium tour is so awesome. Swimming pool. Trisha, you're in your swimming pool already this morning? Oh my gosh, girl. I know it's hot there, but boy, it is hot here and muggy. It's Florida weather here. Out there in Vegas, it was 111 during the day. It was so hot, but it wasn't like I barely sweat when I walked. Nifty remove the promotion rate. Yeah, I had to re-pump mine every time. Yeah, so if you're on Nifty, what I usually do, I just go to eBay. I'll show you guys what I do real quick. So like when it delist, I just go into my eBay. I go to sell. There's 3 more things I need to ship up. I go to listings, edit all listings. And then I come over here as it pops up. I'm going to click all 901, come down to promote, and then update promote, ad rate, apply to single fixed ad rate, 9% is what I do. Apply, and it's going to apply it to all my listings now. So that's an easy way just to get all your listings promoted right this second. You saw that took less than 30 seconds probably. So yeah, that's how you do that. Welcome back. Thanks, Sandra. Yes, sir. Trisha's in her pool. Trisha, you guys have pools at the Jaguar Stadium too, don't you? Did my 4-mile walk. Jumped in the pool to cool down. Trisha, good for you. Good for you. I'm going to start exercising more. I'm going to start I was walking. I was exercising. Then you guys know when you get sick, like you obviously stop. I had COVID. I swear I still can't get a deep breath. I know that sounds stupid, but when I still feel like I can't get a deep breath, and I still feel like I have headaches. I don't know if anyone had COVID and it like lingered for a month or I guess it's been about 3 weeks. But what's up, Danny? All right, let's go over some eBay sales. Number 1 was a promoted listing. So eBay took an extra 9%. But these are German camo pants. And you can see they have the buttons all around. They're not that old. They're from 1997, so they're vintage, but they're not like, you would think they'd be like, well, not World War II, but I don't know, earlier, 60s, 70s, something like that. They're not. Yes, you do. I know you do have that pool up there. These are going to Stephanie. We're going to send these out in an eBay poly mailer. These sold, I bought these for $5. They sold for $49.99. I also do flat rate shipping for $7 on those. I do 7 and 10 for flat rate on a lot of items. When it comes to eBay and eBay Open, every time we're down, you can make it right. Every time we're down, yeah, you can make it right, yeah, and that's the way you make it larger than life. Ha! Chris, I knew exactly where you said that. Larger than life, was that their first song? It might have been their first song that they performed. I don't want to ruin it for you guys if anyone's going. Ha! Ha! Clever, Chris. I've grown out my store and stuff's starting to get good. Thank you. You're welcome. Grown my store. Yeah, I need to grow my store more. My store is, you guys just saw 900 something listings. I slacked the past week. That's what happens. That's what happens. So $50 on those. Good pair of, you saw that camo. So that's a German camo print. What do we call it? I definitely can't pronounce that. I can't pronounce that. There's two words. I can't pronounce either one. Morning, C. Rich. Had a customer leave neutral feedback, said the shirt description was incorrect. All the measurements were in photos. Said he wanted to return it in the feedback, but didn't submit a return request. C. Rich, I wouldn't worry about it. And neutral feedback is not going to affect you at all. So, for example, if I go to my eBay right here, how do I go to my eBay? My eBay. So neutral feedback's not going to show up. It's just going to show this. I mean, when people look at your store, they're going to see they're going to see this right here, right? So when they look at you, they're going to see that. And neutral feedback's no big deal. I don't worry at all about neutral feedback. But that's just me. I never even look at it. But if you want to try to correct it or whatever, you can always request. Well, these are too long, but you can reply to it. You can reply underneath it like, hey, I always accept returns. You know, this person never actually asked for a return. So you can hit reply, or you can ask for a revision and say, hey, you know, I'm happy to return your item. The neutral feedback, I would love to have that taken away because I accept returns or whatever. But I wouldn't worry about neutral feedback personally. Got up at 5 a.m. Well, you kind of have no choice in Florida but to wake up at 5 a.m. to get your exercise in, I bet. You're not doing it in the middle of the day, that's for sure. I remember going to Florida. Like I said, I used to go like 5 times a year for a week at a time. And definitely during the summer months, the construction workers would be out there at like 4:30 or 5. Whenever the sun came up, 5:30. It was crazy. No, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. How do you know they're German? Because the inside tag, first of all, that print is iconic German. And then the inside tag was all in German. So that's how I knew. What's up, all you cool kids? What's up, Angry? Good morning. Welcome back. Thanks, piece of scrap. I'm in the house. What's up? Welcome in. My weekend sucked on all platforms. Ralph Black. Sorry to hear that. I don't know the explanation. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. Good morning, Darren. Or not Darren. What's up, Marion? So listen. It's still summer slowdown. July and August are still considered summer slowdown. Sales are usually slower. But they should be picking up here soon. Should be picking up soon. So that was a pair of camo pants. That's definitely like a fall item, right? Here's a pair of Prana shorts. I like picking up Prana. I know a lot of people have been saying like they don't do as well for them. And I will say this sat for longer than what it normally does. But I still got full asking price, $26 on these. So maybe just lower the price. You saw how much I got on those, $26. So would you do eBay Open again, speaking or attending? Would I do eBay Open again? Yes. So this is the thing with eBay Open. I thought it was awesome. It was bigger and more grand than I thought. Like, they poured a ton of money. Like, it was, I mean, it was at the Venetian Convention Center. It was huge. So, yes, I feel like there's a couple benefits of going. Obviously, you can go virtual and watch it virtual and listen to the presentations. But what you don't see is after the presentation is done, you can go over and talk to the presenters for as long as you want, pretty much. So after I was done, I had people, like a line of people talking to me and asking me questions. And then also, you're with 2,000 resellers. So there's breakfast and there's lunch and there's all these different things. So you just sit down with different people. What do you sell? Everyone has the same thing in common. You're all there for eBay and your resellers. What do you sell? Oh, I sell this. Oh, okay. You know, do you promote? Yeah, I promote. What percent do you promote at? you're there the whole time connecting with people like you. So that's good. And you're going to different presentations. So it's good. This year also, at the very beginning, anyone who attended gets a $300 gift card for eBay. So the tickets were just under $300. So the ticket was basically free. You just had to pay like travel and hotel. Would I speak again? Possibly. Normally, I never get nervous about anything, but for some reason, I got nervous. For some reason, it hit my nerves when I was performing, which I didn't like but it was fine. It was fine. I just didn't have to prepare. I just haven't done that in years, I guess I should say, which sounds really stupid of me to say. But I haven't had to go to work and put on a presentation. I haven't had to do anything for years. I do everything on my own leisure, pace, style, whatever. So that was just one small complaint that was personal for me. But as far as the eBay Open, it was unbelievable. It was really amazing. Would I go again? Yes, to answer that question. Would I present again? Possibly. Things are sure picking up for you. Let's go. Pump. Yeah, this is the time. It's still summer slowdown, but things should be picking up, especially that fall stuff. My goal is to attend next year. My goal, I always wanted to attend. And if you're here and I haven't talked to you about this before, I always wanted to attend eBay Open, but I never could as a teacher. You just couldn't. I couldn't take those days. You get 2 personal days a year, and I just couldn't take those days to do it because it's in the middle of the week. So I was really excited to finally go. After the pandemic, it was always virtual. So this was the first time it was in person again. I was really happy to do it. Is Etsy back up working on Nifty? I'm not sure, Jamie, because I don't sell on Etsy. So I'm not sure. I wish I could answer that for you. Someone in the chat could probably answer that for you. Did eBay pay you to present at Open? No. So eBay did not pay me to present, but they paid for my transportation out there and they paid for my stay. So they did not pay me to present, which is good. And which to me, in my mind, it was like, I feel like, okay, maybe I should get paid to present. But then on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? Good opportunity, no pressure because they're not paying me. And I'm happy to help others. So it was fine. But they, of course, paid for my travel and my stay. But no, I didn't get paid to speak. I just found a Zegna 100% linen blazer. Ooh, there you go. Billy, 100% Zegna blazer. That's a good one. I don't know if I've found 100% Zegna, 100% linen. Zinnia, whatever you pronounce it. Wasn't lying about my sister selling Backstreet Boy carpet on eBay. What? Lying about my sister selling Nick Backstreet Boy carpet? What? On eBay? Selling Backstreet Boy carpet? Listen, I got a selfie with Nick. I can talk about that too. There's a lot of cool things that open. Were the majority of the sellers clothing, or were there a good mix of different types of sellers? A good mix of sellers. The clothing sellers, a lot of collectibles, car parts, big items, lots of different types of sellers. People that have been selling a long time, people that have been selling about a year, just a really, really good mix of people. It was a really good mix of people. And I'm pretty sure you talk to your CPA, but if you were to go, it would be a tax write-off because it's a business expense. You're going for eBay Open. You're not going for anything else. If you go and see the Backstreet Boys, you can't write off the Backstreet Boys ticket. But the hotel stay, the food, that sort of thing. Do they move it around? So the last times that eBay Open's been in person, it's been in Vegas. I think the time before that and the time before that, like 2019 and 18, it was at Mandalay Bay, pretty sure. Comic-Con for Reseller sure was out there fanboying. Comic-Con, there weren't a ton of but with Backstreet Boys, listen, I wasn't really fanboying. Shelby was there with me. This is what happened. Yeah, you're welcome. Transparency, always. It's a networking trip, for sure. Okay, so they had this booth enclosed and like in the expo hall, and it was an eBay live booth. It was, I don't know. I mean, this thing was like really cool put together, and it was all glass. So people the whole time were doing eBay live from the inside. And then I got done with the presentation, and people were like, oh, the Backstreet Boys are in the live booth doing like a card break. I'm like, what? So I go back there, and they're back there doing a card break. Now, let me tell you, unless you had an eBay open badge on you or a whatever lanyard, you couldn't come into eBay open. They had like security there. So it wasn't like the Backstreet Boys are there and just like tons of people found out and came. It was just the eBay people. So they were in there doing card breaks. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Nick got like a crazy card break. The pitcher for the Padres that's really good, signed auto with a jersey thing, is a really good one. And then they came out and they were like signing autographs and like doing some stuff. And as Nick was walking past, like people were like trying to get pictures with him while he was walking. He was like, yeah. And my wife, Shelby, was like, I'm not going up there. I'm like, I will. I'll go. I'm not afraid. So like I literally followed him all the way to where he exited. I'm like, hey, quickie, let's go. And he did it real quick. So I told Shelby, I'm like, you got to be a go-getter. You got to go after it. If you don't go after it, you're not going to get that selfie. She didn't get one. Can you tell us more about the guys selling the ovens and large appliances? Sure. See, Rich, I actually went to that presentation. So I went to a few of the presentations. Again, I really focused on making sure my presentation, because my job there was to present with Kathy, who is really good, present to the watchers virtually and the watchers there. That was my job. And then when I had time, I went and saw other presenters. So I can talk all about them. Let me pack this next item. It's a Ren and Stimpy guy. This I've had for maybe like close to a year, and my wife has really wanted me to sell it, and that's an understatement. Like, I'm going to throw it away type of deal. And I finally listed it when I put my new little shoe setup together, and it sold quickly. It sold for $22.50. $22.50. Okay. So, see, Rich, there's a couple, I think they're called flea market flippers. I'm pretty sure they have a podcast and YouTube and all that stuff. Flea market flippers. They sell just large items and not a whole bunch. Not a whole bunch. They only sell a few years. So this is what they do. And I will answer all your guys' questions. I see them coming in. So they buy really large items. Let's say range, stovetops. They bought a huge car wash like spinner brush thing. That's like $10,000 and just giant things that people don't want to ship. And so most of the time, their competition on these ovens and fridges and all these different really expensive, nice things, their competition is Facebook Marketplace and people on eBay who do not ship. So in that instance, what they do, they get on Facebook Marketplace and they buy, he said that's where they buy most of their items on Marketplace, and then they ship it for free. So they found a way to freight or ship on pallets these large items. They pull it on the pallet there at their place, and then they have the truck come get it. And they put it in the truck and they ship it. And they said it costs between $500 and about $750 to ship that pallet across the country or wherever, $300 to $750. And but their cost of goods is so low, so they pay like $500, $700 for these items and sell them for like $7,000. And not many people ship. Like no one ships, they say. So that's what they do. And they found that it works really, really well. So they buy really large items. They're willing to ship them and they sell them on eBay. And because they buy it for $700 and sell it for $7,000, they don't have to sell a ton a year. And they have like 2 or 3 kids, and they're very much like, we like our life. We like what we do. We're not about things. So they're not about like making it a huge production. They just find stuff locally and sell it. I just watched a YouTube video with a guy who has a store about 50 items, but they're huge items, stoves, ovens. Sounds like it does very well. He said they're mastering the palette. Yes, so they also have a like a Patreon group. Almost all the presenters I was with, they all have Patreon groups and like all those sorts of groups. Let me see if I can find them real quick together. Let's see if we can find them together real quick. Pretty sure they have a YouTube. Flea Market Flipper. Is that them? Yeah, that's them right there. So that's them. I'll subscribe to them. This is them. Flea Market Flipper. These guys right here. So high profit niche can make 500 to 2,000 per flip. Yep, these are them. He has a ton of energy. He's a really cool guy. And his wife, I didn't get to talk to her, but I talked to him. But these are them. Yeah, so if you want to learn more about shipping big items like these items like this, that's who to follow. And there's a ton of money to be there. That's to be made there. That's also one thing I learned from Open, talking to all these resellers. There's just money to be made everywhere. Like so many people I talk to don't go to thrift stores. Just so many different ways to sell on eBay and make money. There should really never be excuse. I mean, you guys know I did estate sales. I used to do antiques and collectibles, and I couldn't do that anymore. So I had to switch to clothing. So if clothing slowed down or something happened with clothing, you'd have to be able to manage to switch to something else, which I think I could do. Esmeralda. What's up, Esmeralda? Esmeralda, didn't you get a quick why did I say quickie? Not a quickie, a selfie with Nick Carter too. Esmeralda and I were talking the whole time. Full of smiles. It was fun. A quickie, I know. Not what I meant. I did not have a quickie with Nick. That is not true. Good morning from New Jersey. Good morning. Love meeting you. Hey, what's up, Robin? Robin too. Yes, so much fun. So the people that I met there were all coworkers, for one. People were like, no, we're all coworkers. It's fun. Everyone was so positive. Like there was no negative people, negative energy there, at least that I found. I did not feel like there was any negativeness there, which was really nice. It was just a happy trip. Yes, you did. We were both go-getters. We got a selfie with Nick Carter, not a quickie. Let's make that clear. All right, so here's a Polo Ralph Lauren rugby long sleeve shirt. The reason I put rugby in the title of this is because it's got that long sleeve. I put rugby in the title. This sold for $24.30, so that was a Nifty sale. Nifty sent out an offer. It must have been like $26.99 or something. Nifty sent out a 10% offer, and someone took it. What's up, Jens? My way is the best way, though. Your way is lame. Felix, you're just the best in general, Felix. We all love you so much. Good morning from New York. What's up, New York? Nick, what's up, Nick? Oh my gosh. 89 items sell this weekend, 33 on Posh, which is odd. That's crazy, Nick. What are you doing over there? Anyone else have a random Posh? Yeah, someone earlier, sorry, I just forget who it was. Someone earlier said their Poshmark sales were popping this weekend. So good for you guys. Let me see my Nifty. I mean, oh boy. Let's go in here and see. Inventory. I don't even know how many items. I'm going to do a full sync. It's been a minute. We'll see how many items I need to cross list. Love positive energy, and that's why I started following your content. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Got it. We always just got to stay positive the best we can. Of course, there's down days, and everyone has down times. But we just got to think positive, especially our headspace when it comes about work and reselling and stuff like that. Can't get down. When we're our own boss, we gotta keep going. I haven't had my coffee yet. Haven't had my coffee yet. Well, you need to get a Monster. I did. Posh was hopping this weekend. Dang. Just everyone's Posh was killing it. Posh was slow, except for on the hunt. Me too. I'm actually like 10 usually on Posh for a weekend. It was very weird. Yeah, that's weird. Good for you though, Nick. I had 4. Next item was I had a lot of Nifty sales, to be honest. This was a Nifty sale, 2160. These are really cool. Vintage pair of Levi's shorts. Levi's 2 L2 is the name of these. I don't know. I've never heard of them. They were with other vintage shorts. And they don't say Levi's anywhere but on this tag right here. But they're vintage Levi's shorts. And they say L2 on them. Like totally Y2K. Speaking of Backstreet Boys. Really cool. These sold for, like I said, $21.60. I paid $3.99. But yeah, you can ask me other questions. I learned quite a bit from Open, like watching the keynotes and stuff. And eBay's always like notorious, like we're rolling this out, we're rolling that out. It just takes time. So that's one thing. Some of the, we have to wait and see how long it takes. You guys that were there know what I'm talking about. It takes a little time. We know that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? I know. Listen, I didn't get crazy. Coffee got you. Not coffee. Coffee. Didn't get your coffee. I said coffee. Yeah, I know. I need my energy today. It's bad. It's really bad. Would you recommend Posh or Mercari for clothing? Posh. Poshmark had 4 sales. Mercari 1. I'll show you real quick. First of all, let's see how many items. 32. Yeah, I need to cross those 32 items. Let's go over to analytics. And this is why I say that. So this is the last 4 weeks. Here are my analytics for the last 4 weeks. Poshmark is my second best-selling platform behind eBay. And then Depop, Mercari. So that's where I'm at. Let's see what's selling. Casual button-down shirts. It's like always going to be number 1 for me. Shorts, there's about even with pants. Polos and T-shirts. Okay. All right. That's where we're at right now. Can you bundle ship on your phone? Can you bundle ship on your phone? If you have a shipping policy set for that, you can. Like I changed my shipping policy to flat rate and then $1 extra for each item so they can bundle. But that's how I do it with that. Double my weekend sale, which I created my shipping policy on my computer. Doubled my weekend sales all because of Nifty. Can't vouch for it enough. I know, Nick. I know. At Open, there were quite a few people who A, don't cross list, and B, use other ones. And I wasn't there to like talk about Nifty a whole bunch, but if they brought it up to me, I was like, number one, what I did, I would just show my phone. Like, number one, you're not promoting. Look at this. Promoted. Like, I feel like you got to be promoting. Like, look at all these sales. And then Nifty, I'm like, Nifty sale. Like, you're missing out, especially if you have stuff that sells on other platforms. Do all plans on Nifty allow you to upload, Esmeralda, photos and list? Yeah, so on Nifty, there are a couple different pricing right here. So what you would want, Esmeralda, is this one right here. Because you want to cross list and you want automation. I recommend that for everybody. And once you do that, then you'll go to your inventory and you'll cross list. So you can bulk generate your items from here, Esmeralda, like on eBay. At eBay Open, they're doing this too. Like Tech and Sports just came out, that thing, Better Lister AI. Well, eBay's coming out with the exact same thing where you can import all your pictures and it will just AI create all your listings for you. So you can do that here. I don't do that. I create my items on eBay and then I cross list them over. So as long as you just create through your platforms, so you just go to Poshmark, you can do this in a few hours, create your platforms, and then you just click that and click that. And now that item's listed over on Poshmark. So super easy. All your pictures, you can see everything that you put on eBay, all your descriptions, everything is, you just cross-list over. It's super easy. So that's what gets you more sales. Cross-listing over to other platforms. Super easy. Now that item is now cross-listed that platform. If it sells anywhere, it will delist. And if, like I said, if you're just now coming in, I'll talk about what's sold on Nifty, what's promoted, what's a regular sale. If you want to try Nifty for free, I put it in the link, or just go to surfsupfinds.com. There's a free link for a free trial and a discount off your first month, and it helps the channel. Good morning, welcome back. I had my best weekend yet reselling. Posh went off this weekend. Crystal, Nick, look, everybody, guys, everyone's saying Posh has gone crazy. There's another reason to cross list. All right, Crystal, you and Nick, and who else said it, that Posh was going well? Justin, everyone's saying Posh was doing really well. I can't remember when it was something you said or an article I read about a guy from Idaho refilling fire extinguishers and selling them. Sounded interesting. That was not me, but that does sound interesting. New Yorker. What's up, New Yorker? On the hunt with Jen. Yeah, I got to say coffee then. Thanks. I'm not an actor. I probably have an awful accent or made up accent. Good morning, Pockets. Good morning, everybody. Can you drop the link to the low rack you have behind you? Need it for hangers. Oh, that rack. You know what? I can't. I'll put it in my, so if you guys are wondering what I use, again, I'll go there real quick. So this is what I can do and what I can't do. If you go to just surfsupfinds.com, I made this so you can see what it is. There's your Nifty. Here's your Amazon. You click on that for Amazon products to use. I do not have that link. You know why? Because my wife bought those for a garage sale years ago before I did whatnot. So Shelby got those. And I have no idea. I know she got them on Amazon. I have no idea which ones they are. So I'm not going to say, like, get these or get those because I don't know which ones those are. They work well. Those are what I use for Poshmark. And if you're looking at getting some, I recommend this. Getting the extenders. So see how that extended out? That's really nice if you're doing like a whatnot show or whatever. Did I say Poshmark? I meant whatnot. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My eBay has been decent, but this weekend was tough. When in doubt, zoom out, right? We're good. We're good. When in doubt, zoom out. How long does an eBay appeal take? I had a vintage coach flagged, but provided them with a certificate of authenticity. The listing is still flagged. So what you can do is you can try to contact eBay. If you try to get a hold of someone from eBay and see what's taking so long, when can I expect it? That's what I would do. I would just keep on trying to reach out to customer service, trying to talk to someone on the phone, and then get a better idea that way. That's what I would do. I can't answer that question because I've never been in your shoes before. That's being asked. I had an entire issue yesterday. I asked in your group, and it was turned into a hot topic with someone who got rude with me in the comments. Oh, if we get rude, and okay, guys, Surf's reseller community, a free community with 15,000 people on Facebook. Surf's reseller community. It is private, but it doesn't cost money. It's not a paid Patreon or anything. But if people get rude, we kick them out. That's why it's private. So, long story short, someone won 2 auctions and wanted me to bundle ship the item. I never done that before, and I didn't have it selected. After contacting eBay, they told me I couldn't bundle at the moment because the buyer already paid for the 2 auctions. So I would end up into my settings and enable combined shipping. Got you. Okay. I just started dabbling with auctions. I'm not familiar with them. Okay. I don't know about auctions, but if I sold a couple items, maybe like a guy bought something this morning and then he bought something this afternoon, I can bundle those items together and then I always refund them a bit on the shipping. That's what I do when it's a buy it now. Auction price, I'm not exactly sure if you can do the same thing, but that's what I do. So if someone buys the items, I end up bundling them together when I ship them. I ship them together, and I attach them like with eBay so they have the same tracking number, and then I refund the difference in shipping. I'm a Nifty shill, but the AI lister is so bad if you want quality listing. Yeah, you know I love AI. I don't. I talk to people at Open too who do the AI, and it just depends on what you're listing and what items you have and all those sorts of things. For the most part, I can list faster on my own. For the most part, there are some items that I think Nifty could do faster. But for example, like jeans, Levi's jeans, a 34-32. They might read that, but the measurements show different. So you're going to have to make sure you put in your listing, like tag says 34-32, but they measure 32-30. Things like that. There, you have to go through it, make sure everything's right, because you don't want to make a mistake. And the AI things kind of could do that. Not against AI, just saying I list up pretty quickly. I've just started dabbling with auctions. So, oh, I got that. I just sent you a DM asking keywords for photo Ralph Lauren shirt. What I've asked here, but I couldn't send the photo. Okay, gotcha, Luke. Yeah. Luke, send me a DM on, I know you're on Facebook. Send it on Instagram. That's where I can see photos, usually. Instagram's the best. K-Way was talking about the additional $1 shipping feature. It only works on multiple quantity listing. It doesn't work for bulk buying different listings. Okay. Well, that dude gave me the advice to do the $1 extra. So I'm going to blame him on that. I like blaming him on everything. That rat is Target. Thanks, Shelby. All right. So people asking about that rack back there, that's from Target. That's from Target. Shelby, that's my wife right there. She bought that from Target, not from Amazon. So I couldn't link it even if I wanted to. Have you had any issues with Nifty losing connection with Depop? I haven't tried adding the Chrome extension, but I'm thinking it's definitely more Depop issue than Nifty. I haven't with Nifty and Depop. Mercari delinks about like once a month, maybe once every 2 months. And I always have to reconnect Mercari, but not Depop. I haven't had an issue with Depop. If you have an issue with that, I would just reach out to Nifty. I know Neha, especially in the beginning, they want to know those things. So if you do have an issue, reach out to them, their customer service, because they want to make sure it doesn't happen to other people too. Was this week an increased traffic? PoshFest, like eBay Open, was this weekend, was it? I thought it was like September 11th or something like that. There you go. So PoshFest was this weekend. I've heard about PoshFest. I haven't gone. I don't think I could do PoshFest because I don't really know much about Poshmark. Poshmark was 80% of my sales this weekend. That is usually eBay numbers. Guys, what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Or what am I doing wrong? Poshmark, I need to do something over on Poshmark. You guys are killing it over there. I'm gonna start cross listing like all those items to Poshmark right like today. I know we just need to see K-Way. K-Way is going to be at MercariCon in the back, talking about. I forget what is he talking about, Nick? What's he going to be talking about at MercariCon? Coach is brutal. They flag everything. I think he's going to be talking about why they decided to charge the buyers. I think he's going to be talking about why they're going to be charging the buyers. He's going to have a packed room on that one. Nick should have gotten your autograph, right, Jay Licious? You know what, though? It was pretty cool. Like, okay, the Backstreet Boys. I'll say this, too. The Backstreet Boys, getting my picture with Nick Carter, whatever. You know, it was cool. AJ was there, Nick and Brian, during that eBay Live thing. That was cool. I was right there with all of them. But then going to the show, like, people were crazy. Like, I'm like, dang, that's pretty cool that I got a picture with them because everyone there would have died to have a picture. I will also say this. Backstreet Boys, obviously they're an older group, just like any group that were from the 90s or early 2000s. They're still traveling and doing shows here and there. But what a resurgence for Backstreet Boys. I don't think they have been this popular since the year 2000 and 2001. Like, people are coming, they're going crazy to come see this concert. It's trending. And it should be. It was so good. It was so good. It was like, I can't even say it was a show. It was just an unbelievable experience. Good morning. Sent out over 50 packages this morning. Already, Tony? Great weekend. Sounds like most people had a really good weekend. Happy for all you guys. I bought a bunch of vintage band pins and trucker hats on Whatnot last week, so I can somewhat revive Depop or Macari. I will let you know. All right, Dora, let me know. Yeah, revive. I mean, you guys know Depop Macari pays for my Nifty. That's pretty much what all it's good for. By the way, I did sell my last American Girl doll. That's one thing I did pack up right before the live. She wanted me to invoice her. I've never done that. I'm learning daily. There's just so much to learn with eBay, for sure. So much to learn with eBay. And with the auction, they wanted you to invoice her. Yeah, usually people ask for an invoice. I just say, hey, pay for everything, and I'll refund the difference in shipping. I've never had a problem with that. Good morning. I hope Labor Day weekend kicks off the fall sales. It was just a better weekend than last year. Yes. So Labor Day weekend usually does. Like, I feel like Labor Day weekend is when everything just kind of just flips to fall. Someone mentioned it recently. I forget who it was, sorry, in the chat. But that's when the hayride clothing starts selling really, really well. Like jeans and flannels, that hayride clothing sells really well. Anyway, you can show us how to bundle ship when they order 2 items. I could if I had a bundle right now, but I don't. I don't have a bundle. If I had a bundle, I could show you how I bundle ship it. I just combine shipping is what it's called. I have Nifty, but noticed over the last couple of days, eBay's reselling item I already sold on their platform. What should I do? eBay is no help. I would reach out to Nifty and say, Nifty, these items are they being delisted? Let them help you walk through it. Let them help you walk through it. I haven't had that issue myself, so I can't answer that. What's up, Utah? Good morning, Utah. I want to go to Utah. I want to go to Zion. Have you ever done Posh Live? I haven't. There has to be buy. I like Whatnot if I'm going to do a live. I'm going to do Whatnot. I wish I missed the old Mercari prior to the free shipping fees. I used to sell so much there. Now it's hit or miss. Agreed. Go blame K-Way. He's gonna talk at the Mercari comic, the Mercari Con. He's gonna talk about all that. So go blame him. Promoted my closet $50 a week and made massive sales on Poshmark. Ooh, promoted on Poshmark. Okay. Most people say don't promote on Poshmark, but you did promote. Okay. Good to know. I promote on Depop. I did get a sale on Depop, and it's called Boosted. It's 8%. Here's a Nike Tour Performance. This is older, but it's a TPC Potomac, which is a PGA golf event. Nike Performance polo or shirt sold for $29.70, which means that was an auto posture sale. Someone sent out an offer for 10%. Someone bought it for $29.70. I had quite a few auto posture sales, more than normal. Not auto posture, Nifty. Sorry, Nifty used to be called auto posture for those new people. Do you share on the posh parties? I try to share daily, but nothing ever sells. So, I don't know if you're on the hunt with Jen. I use Nifty. I'm going to talk about it a lot. There's going to be a lot of new people probably. So Nifty is the cross lister I use, which I talked about earlier, but it also has this automation. And so it all day long, it shares. It shares all day long. Self shares, community shares. I had the relist turned off. It sends out offers. It does following. And you can update the seller. So community shares, share eligible items to posh parties. There you go. So I'll just turn that on real quick. I'll save that. But yeah, it does all the sharing for you in the background. So it's already this morning shared all that. And then it does eBay and all that stuff too. I need to do this. Send offers on Mercari. My Mercari got disconnected while I was gone. Boop. Okay, there we go. Everything's good to go now. That's what I do. He found out about the extra money from an order he had received. So he called eBay and found out there was that only applies to bulk buys. I think I found a work around it. Text him or ask him about it. K-Way, I don't have his number. I'm just playing. Yeah, I'll ask him about it. He should have told me. He should have told me. He told me that he always gives me the wrong information. I think he does it on purpose. My challenge right now is required with getting signed back in. I'm not receiving the sign in to FA code. I'm connected with both Mercari and Nifty on the issue. Yeah, if you connected with both of them, I'm not sure. Again, I haven't had that problem. When I get kicked off of Mercari, usually I just sign back in and I hook it back up. It's easy for me to do that. You saw I actually forgot to hook it back up. So cool. I got to see the Backstreet Boys. It was cool. It was really good. Now, of course, I came home and I'm like invested. And so I started watching that Dirty Pop on Netflix. Here, these sold just regular price, no promotion, no Nifty. These are Bird Dog pants. I found these. I remember finding these recently on the rack. Not a new cart. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because they look like every other pant. But Bird Dog pants still sell well for me. They sold for $32.99. Paid $5 to it. Headed to a giant outlet mall 2 hours away. There's a Polo up there. Let's go, Dora. Those stores. Check out how expensive Polo is, even at the outlet store. That's why Polo sells well in used condition, because it's still expensive at the outlet store. Just over here, making sure it's going to the right buyer. I'm checking my phone, checking everything. You thought he was going to talk about beaver nuggets and how well George sells? Yeah, that sounds like a K-Way. K-Way's doing a workshop on having your spouse do all the work. That sounds accurate. That tracks. There's going to be tens of people there. Golden Corral, Tampa Bay, $19.99 entry fee, $29 if you want the buffet access. Nick, crack me up. How you make your spouse do all the work? Yeah, and if you want the buffet, it's $29.99. So it's only $10 more. You guys should do it. It's in Tampa. I love the Burr months: November, September, October. Yeah, December. They do well. You sell, and your average cost of your average sales price is usually more expensive because you're selling more expensive items, right? I won't say higher end, but more expensive items, copes and stuff like that. My weekend sucks. Listen, Pocket, all these people are coming in saying their weekends were unbelievable. So at least we have some balance. What am I missing? I list daily promote. Last Monday, 26. This Monday, 6. See, balance it out, though. Last Monday, you had a ton. This Monday, 6. It's ebbs and flows. It just wasn't your weekend. They have been delisted on Nifty. I don't know why those items are still on eBay. I don't know why they're still on eBay. Am I almost ready for a whatnot soon? I'm stocking up on women's stuff. I'm trying, Amy D. I'm still trying. I think I have probably 60 items. I need a little bit more. If you're new to Nifty, it's not automatically set up to delist. It may just not be connected. They said they had it connected. Yeah, if you're on Nifty, you got to make sure you have it delisted. So right here, you want to make sure you have these auto delist on. These auto delists need to be on. That way, if it sells on the platform, it automatically delists on those platforms. You have to make sure those are on. I want to do what not so bad, but the stage fright gets me every time. Listen, Stephanie, there's no one in the room with you. It's virtual. Trust me. It's easy. There's no one in the room with you. You're sitting there. There are going to be a few people in there talking to you in the chat. They're just going to swipe. It's casual. There's no reason to be shy or whatever. You know what you're doing. You know your item. You hold up your item and you say, this is a Brooks Brothers linen shirt. It's 100% linen. It's slim fit. It's an XL. It's white and there are no stains on it. We're going to start this at $5, regular auction. Perfect. It's got the button down collar. All right, let's start it. That's it. It's super easy. You know your item. You know what you're talking about. No stage fright in that. You got it. This sold for $29.70. That was another Nifty sale. Nifty, like I said, I've had more Nifty sales this past week than I've had in a long time. If you've been watching my lives, you haven't heard me talk about Nifty sales as much. So turning off relister on Nifty does what for eBay? Relister, I don't turn off the relister on eBay. I keep it on. That was just on Poshmark. I keep my relister off on Poshmark. Poshmark, it's more about sharing. eBay, you want to do the delist recreate. It doesn't relist. It recreates your item like a brand new item. It's just on Poshmark that I did not recreate. Because Poshmark puts people in timeout every once in a while. It's like, get me out of timeout. They give me out of timeout. I had it 4 times happen to me. And they get me out of timeout, but I don't want to be in it more than I have to be. But do you find that you make sales because of the Posh Party? I don't know if it's worth it anymore. Okay, so the Posh Party, I don't know, because as you can see, I didn't have that Posh Party clicked on. So I didn't even know about Posh Party. That's how much I know about Poshmark. All I do is just have it connected to Nifty. Nifty sends out offers and does the sharing, and I just sell stuff. And I'll go over some of those sales. One of the things I sold was $117. And I got them for free. I have a bunch of WWE wrestling action figures. I don't know a lot about them. Is it better to run an item at auction with bundles at 10 or list them as a bundle, sell them at buy it now? Leroy, okay, it's different. Okay, so when I used to do estate sales, I would usually always do auctions with stuff like that. I would bundle them in lots of like 10 or whatever, and I would let them go. Now, if you think they're old and you think you have some good ones, you can go through them one by one and see if any of them are like a hot commodity. If you have the time or you're sitting and watching TV at night, then you can go through them one by one and see if any of them are worth a lot more than the others. So that's just up to you. But a lot of times with collectibles like that, where there are a lot of people collecting those, they'll know, the people looking at those lots, they'll know you'll have a nice one, and you'll know right away because people will message you right away and say, hey, can I buy that whole lot right now? Or, hey, can I buy just that one action figure right now? That's how you'll know. Do you have eBay settings to send 10% off on Nifty? I do. So on Nifty, I have my offers set up at 10% off. So 10% off on my offers is what I have it set at. You guys know this is going to be a long one today. We talk on Mondays. We ship on Mondays. Is it better to have items on eBay with best offer on or off? On a side note, updated my shipping to flat rate. It has been much better. Let's go, Stephanie. All right. So that's good. I don't know if it's because I do it or K-Way does it or whoever told you, but yeah. I think right now with the high shipping prices, you got to do something different. I've never done anything but calculated shipping with clothing. This is the first time I changed it up because shipping's gotten so expensive. So to go back to your question about best offer, I only do best offer for high dollar items, for higher ticket items. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go over to my eBay page. So I'm going to go to sell. Here are my items for sale right now. See how these are $18.99? Anything that's less than like 20, 30 bucks, no best offer. So buy it now. Here's one for 70. Buy it now or best offer. Here's one for $29.99. I'm not taking a best offer on that one. I'm not taking a best offer on that one. 21, not taking a best offer. So you can see my low priced ones, best offer. This one, $149. I'll take an offer. This one, $79. I'll take an offer. But the reason I don't take best offers on these really low ones is because I price these at the bottom of the market. So I price these at the very bottom of the market. Look at this. I feel like I need to take pictures, retake pictures. These are all on that hardwood floor and the lighting is not good. I don't want to take new pictures of all those. But yeah, hopefully that helps you. Dirty Pop is in sync. Dirty Pop is both. Dirty Pop is in sync. Backstreet Boys, all them. because the manager, which I watched, the manager of Backstreet Boys, became the same manager of, it was shady, of NSYNC, and then O-Town, and all these other bands. It's nuts, this guy. And I haven't gotten too much farther into it, but I also have a better, I also want to bring this up. I have a better appreciation for Backstreet Boys. I thought they were kind of like One Direction, where they were put together kind of by someone up above. They weren't. They started out in 93 as like a group of these guys. They went and did like schools, and they did their own thing. Like, they really put in the time to get to where they are. I didn't think that was the case with them. Let's get to the next item. This is like a 80s, like a late 80s sweater, acrylic sweater. It doesn't have the 3D knit really. I might have put it in the listing. I did put 3D knit in there for like a title, for like a keyword. This sold for $42.99 regular sale. $42.99 regular sale. I'm going to put this in a little bit bigger of a bag. About Mercari sign-in, Nifty let me know to install their Chrome extension. Easy peasy sign-in. All right, there you guys go. Chris told you, install the Chrome extension on Nifty. Did they touch on revamping the not as to describe process? I saw someone mention it, but could not find it. I feel like they might have touched on it at eBay Open. I don't remember. I know, again, I didn't go to all of the things because I was like focusing on my thing, but I know I went to some of the keynotes. I know they're doing the bulk AI lister. They're going to start having automatic positive feedback for sellers. So if someone buys from you and there's no issues after 30 days, eBay will leave automatic feedback for you positive, which will help your percentage. So if you have a negative feedback and you get a whole bunch more positive, it'll make that negative feedback like 99.9% positive. You know what I mean? Nick for the win. Nifty items. Sorry, guys. I'm going to catch up with this chat before I ship anything else. Items need the sales detection turned on. There you go. I'd swipe off the eBay D list and turn it back. Maybe I'll ask for permission to connect again. There you guys go. For that question about eBay. Yeah, Stephanie, just go for it with Whatnot. Just go for it. Just do it. You can do it. You got this. Whatnot is really no big deal. It's fun as long as you set the shipping right. A lot of people talk about shipping. My last show, I made that mistake. Yeah, make sure you set the shipping right on Whatnot. And then also one suggestion about Whatnot or in anything. And I would just say this about teaching kids. That's why I learned it really with education, is you really don't want to have quiet space. You don't want to have silent, dead space. Like when you're selling your item, you want to continue to talk to the chat. You want to continue to talk about your item, talk about the next item. Not a lot of dead space. If you go off camera for 30 seconds, that's a good reason for someone to swipe out. When I was at eBay Open and talking to one of the like production people behind the cameras, they were talking about like different things. I'm like, don't worry, with Kathy and I, we won't have dead space. Like we'll always have something to talk about. For the public speaking, hold a pen in your hand and it will get rid of your stage fright. There you guys go. Oh, for me like this, or like the presidents do, or like politicians are always, they always have like their thing that they do. I always remember like Barack Obama he always would like really do that. He was a great speaker too. Don't at me with politics stuff. I'm just talking about what he did and how great of a speaker he was, because he was. Just started out reselling. So thank you for your support. Wendy, no problem. Hey, I'm here. I'm here for you. Whatever you want. I'm here showing you what sells too. Like this next item, polo shirt. I bought these for $4 a piece, new without tags. Even though this one had a tag, I bought a whole bunch of them. And most of them did not have tags, so I just put new without tags. This person is going to get a tag. So they're going to be like, oh, I thought it didn't have tags, but it does have a tag. And I already have positive feedback received, and I haven't even shipped the item. How about that? That's weird. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Okay. Jonathan. All right, Jonathan. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Positive feedback received? I haven't even shipped the item? That's crazy. And an IB Cool. I bought these retail arbitrage for 11 something a piece. IB Cool, good brand to be on the lookout for. In use condition too. Bought these for $11 a piece. It sold for $29 on the dot. $29 on the dot. And it sold via promoted listing. I would list figures individually as I buy it now, or whatever doesn't sell at a time. There you guys go. Or if it's damaged, put them together in a bundle of auction. There you guys go. So there's a piece of advice for the action figures. Sell them separately, buy it now, or best offer. And also, if you have a lot of pieces, or when I talk about pieces like little accessories, like pew-pews or swords or whatever, you can sell those as a lot. I would do that a lot. I would do that a lot too. Contact and Nifty. Same problem about eBay relisting sold items. They know the problem and are looking into it, but having to explain that to second buyer is hard for them to understand. Got you. Let me look at Nifty. What's going on over there with this? I wonder if am I having a problem with sending out? Is it relisting? Is that what we talked about? Dashboard. Recreates. Looks like eBay's recreating for me. 21 today so far. So I don't know. How well do you sell internationally? I know I sold at least one item internationally. So we'll go over those. Here's another one of those shirts I sold. We'll go over the international one. It just depends. I mean, I don't sell a ton international. Maybe one out of every 50 items, something like that. Maybe 2% of my sales. Hey, Elvis is back from Vegas. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. I will say this about Vegas, a few things. I've been to Vegas 4 times now. Last time I went was literally the month before COVID. And I feel like in Vegas that it used to, when I first went to Vegas, it was all about shows. Like shows. Like go to shows, all these shows. And then later on when I went to Vegas, like before the pandemic too, it was like shows and clubs, nightclubs. Like Zed's going to be at this, Avicii, RIP, and like these different promoters, Scott Disick, are going to be at these clubs. This last time, I didn't see much about shows. I didn't see much about clubs. To me, it was all about more like concerts and sporting events, because they have the different stadiums in there now where the Aces play basketball. They have the Raiders where they play football. They have the Sphere for concerts. And then they have Formula One there now. That's what I felt like it was mostly about. I'm challenging my stage fright next week. My local eBay seller meeting, Seller Circles. Yes, it's called Seller Circles now. Good, Chris. I'll be presenting on Seller during the holidays. There you go. The September Seller Circles will be celebrating the 30th anniversary. Let's go. So if you guys don't know what Chris is talking about, it used to be called like eBay seller meetings. They're all over. If you look, they're all over the country where different eBay people get together, and usually they send a representative from eBay out and they get together and talk. So I don't know if we have one in Indy, but they're now called Seller Circles. Pretty sure Kings of eBay does one. Pretty sure Kathy Terrell, who I was with, does one. They're all over. They're called eBay Seller Circles. People get together and they talk about different things with the eBay, and I'm pretty sure eBay sends a rep. Next thing is a blazer. Where on eBay do we offer bulk buying and shipping? Wendy, that's a good question. You probably have to go to your shipping policies and change it. You have to go into eBay, go to your policies, go to your shipping policies and change it that way. I've been taking new pictures of all my old items. They have been selling with the new pics. Okay, Jens, I talked about that to some people during Open. I think I'm going to have to go and do some of that work, Jens. I think at least the cover photo. I think I'm going to go in, pull that item, and retake a photo of just that thumbnail cover photo. Was in K-Ways Live the other day. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I learned so much from you both. Dang it. The lives, the fact that y'all take the time to answer questions no matter how many we ask. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, I do. I get in K-Ways Lives too. K-Way has a lot of good information. I'm sorry you have to look at him. It'd be much better if his wife was, if you just look at Kayla and you heard K-Way talking, that would be much better. That sweater was so 80s, I know. I've noticed how eBay offers now appear in messaging. Yep, I'm not sure how that is helpful, but the update is there. Okay, that was another thing that eBay talked about rolling out. eBay is going to be having the offers in the same area as messages. So, for example, sometimes you'll have someone message you and say, hey, will you take an offer of 25% or will you take an offer for $20 on this $25 item? And then you have to go out and send an offer or whatever. They were in two separate places. Now at least they'll be in one spot. So you have your offers and your messages all in one spot. It just kind of streamlined, make it kind of more user-friendly. So yeah, piece of scrap, just kind of more user-friendly. What's up, Gladys? Cost of goods is added to eBay too. Yes, that's another thing eBay added, cost of goods. So now you can put cost of goods in a custom SKU. So they're doing the AI bulk editor. They're doing the cost of goods. They're doing the offers together with the messaging. Lots of new things with the eBay, which is great. Did they talk about the sales where they don't get paid right away? I think they said 90% now. 90%, something about, I think that Jamie said it, the CEO, like 90% of all sales now are paid for as soon as the person buys it. I think they're making it more and more and more. It's going to be 100%, I think, at some point. I have not had one negative feedback in 22 years. 2 this week, and it's always under a $10 item. Grr, vintage pillowcases, too scratchy. Really? Pockets, don't worry about negative feedback. It's not going to hurt you. It doesn't affect your selling status, and it's not a big deal. But that does suck. I know 22 years, 2 negative feedback. What I always do, like a $10 item especially, I contact the buyer and say, listen, I am so sorry that it's itchy. I would be more than happy to refund you. Just keep it, donate it, throw it away. I am so sorry. And also somewhere in there in a nice, polite way, would you consider taking away or redoing your feedback? I always want to make it. I always say, I always want to make it right with my buyers. And since it's a $10 item and you refund them, send them that $10 refund in the shipping and call it a wash, and then get that negative feedback removed. That's what I always do. Sometimes I don't hear from them. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it does work. But also, after it's all said and done, I usually block that buyer so they can't buy from me again and expect to pull that if they were trying to pull something on you. If you were disconnected from Mercari, you probably wanted to make sure you go and delete any of your sales from Mercari that may have been happening. Yes, Melissa. That is true. So my Mercari, I connected it right away. I just did not redo my send offers and recreates. So you can see it was still connected. I just didn't have my offers or recreates out there. Yeah, as soon as I found out that it was not connected, I reconnected it again. My IB Cool has been flying out the door. I need more, but I haven't been able to find them at the thrift. I know, right? And those are retail arbitrage. So you can find them at retail stores and online arbitrage. I found IB Cool online arbitrage before. My Ralph Lauren or my Dillard's had the Ralph Lauren 50 to 65% off their men's clothing and picked up some great deals. There you go, Leroy. Last time I went to Macy's and they had their Polo Ralph Lauren on clearance. Stuff was still high. It was so expensive still. I'm like, dang. I was excited to have this clearance sale. It wasn't. This is a Brooks Brothers with that nice fabric on it. This is a 50 long blazer, 50L from Brooks Brothers, all wool. And this sold for $50. This is going out padded flat rate. That's how I send my blazers out, and that's one of my shipping policies. It's a padded flat rate. Did I go to Fremont Street? No, Amy. I've gone to Fremont 2 times, and both times I've gone, I literally like walk it one time, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go back to the strip. Good morning. What's up, Mom? Mom's in the chat. Good morning, Mom. Back in town. Mom took care of the kids while Shelby was gone. She was a huge help. The kids love their grandma so much, too. Make sure going the right person. Vince Avicii, the man, the myth, the legend. I know. I love Avicii. Love Avicii. I still love his music. Such great. If you watch, they have a special on Netflix, I think, on him, too. I didn't realize, again, how creative that guy was. Just a trendsetter in that space. eBay AI answers all my questions. Then I check and send, do saved or hit send. Yes, that's another thing eBay does now. So when someone asks you a question, eBay now has an AI response to the messaging. So if someone asks a question, once you click on it, there will already be a response from eBay. And usually it's pretty accurate now. Supposedly that's what they said, and you can just hit send. So there'll be an AI response to people. Amy, hello. eBay Live. Chemo, what's up, Chemo? Stop it, Chemo. You stop that. How do we find the eBay seller circles? Good question. I bet you could go to Google and find it. I don't know exactly. eBay seller circles. I wonder if there's like an eBay seller circle. eBay seller circles. See if there's just a website. Let's see it. eBay seller circles. eBay start a seller circle. There you go. Yeah, so just Google eBay seller circles and stuff pops up. Seller events. They just changed the name to seller circles, by the way. My first weekend with Nifty and paid for itself in 2 days with Poshmark and Depot. Thanks for always stressing. Glad I finally did it. Josie, you're welcome. I'm telling you, I always talk about it. I'm not going to talk about anything that's not going to make you guys money. I talked that open to different people about the 4 Ps. It's your product, what's going to sell, your product, your price, promotion, and pictures. Those are the 4 Ps that are really going to help sell your item. And then I talk about how Nifty really, really helps. But I wasn't really like there promoting Nifty unless it came up. Do you miss Stimpy yet? Stimpy's still with me for a little bit. I love Stimpy. My wife is so cruel for me to sell Stimpy. She was so mean. These are patchwork pants by Jose Banks. Usually I do not buy Jose Banks, but these are patchwork pants, and I decided, hey, patchwork pants selling about any brand. So I picked them up. Picked them up, $38. $38 for some patchwork Jose Banks pants. How do I take the best offer option off my buy it now sales? So you can go to, are you trying to do on all of them? On all your sales, you want to take the best offer off your buy it now? I can show you how to take your best offer off all of your sales. Individually, you'll probably have to go back through and edit individually. But you can go to bulk edit and take them off. Best place to buy those mailers. These poly mailers right here are on my Amazon link. So if you go to surfsupfinds.com, you'll see the Nifty discount code, my Amazon link, something for Whatnot for like free $15 if you never used Whatnot, and my eBay store if you want to like look at my listings and investigate me. But just go investigate this guy. There's a lot more criticism you could do on his store than mine. It's not very good. When you set up shipping policies, do you have to choose a specific policy each time you list something? Yes. So when I list an item, I pick the shipping policy I want. So it'll either be a flat rate 1 pound or under, which I created. You just name it, and you know what it is, which is $7 for me. So flat rate 1 pound or under, flat rate 1 pound or over, which is $10 flat rate for me. Padded flat rate envelope, priority. I also have USP or UPS ground. So I do have a few. I crushed Ralph Lauren for kids this weekend again with the yellow tag sale, $2. Almost grabbed 6 pairs of Rothy's for $10. Dang, yellow tag event still going on. K-Way, go yellow tag kid stuff. You do well with your whatnot. I didn't even think about going through the kids section. Did you go through the kids section, K-Way, at your stores? I didn't even think about that. Okay, don't at me. These are Peter Millar pants, and they sold for $14.99, and they're the good pants. I got them knowing that they had a little, I always look for it. Amy D, don't at me, but they have ball marks right there, or tee marks. So when people play golf, they take their dirty tee and they wipe it off on their pants or their ball and they wipe it off. It's really hard to get those stains off. But I knew for $5, I was just going to take the chance and get these pants. I sold them for $14.99 via promoted listing. It's just one of those things that are like in my hand. I know I can sell these quick. I didn't even have them listed for a week. I listed these right before I left. Does Nifty have a way to auto accept offers under a certain percent of the cost? Auto accept offers under the certain percent of the cost. No. So Nifty will send out offers to people and they can buy it, but that would be your eBay. That would be eBay to auto accept offers. And I don't know if it does that. That's a good question. Does eBay do that? Good morning. My men's blazers are not selling. Any tips? Large sizes too. Pictures and prices are important on those. I honestly don't get as much for my blazers, but then like if you guys follow Chris's Peak, he gets pretty good money for his blazers. So I don't know. I would just make sure your picture, your cover photo, and your prices are competitive, are good. You saw that. That was a size 50 Brooks Brothers with a good fabric. I sold it for $50. And years past, that might have been like a $75 blazer. I know you said you listed on eBay first and then cross-listed the other platforms. I've been using the AI feature and Nifty, which I really like. So I do everything there. Does the eBay pick up that I'm listing on their algorithm? It seems like my sales are slow. Does it matter how to do it? I don't think it matters. That's the way you're doing it is the way K-Way does it. And I listen to his sales and he gets plenty of sales. So I really don't think it matters. You're listing a new item to eBay. I don't think it matters. Yellow tags are triple markdowns right now. Dang. You're welcome sharing my eBay open experience. Yeah, for sure. If you're just now coming in, you can always re-watch this on YouTube or Facebook. And I talked quite a bit about eBay open earlier. This next item I can't send out yet. And then this item I got in that bulk buy, but I had to list it cheaper because it was missing a button. See that button right there? Missing. This is like a work shirt flannel. Still sold for $21.99. I basically paid like a couple bucks for this because it was flawed. But $21.99 via promoted listing. Polo Ralph Lauren flannel with the missing front button pocket. So just because it has a missing button doesn't mean it's worthless. You can set up specific offers in Nifty, including and excluding keywords. There you guys go. I accidentally sent a UPS package to USPS. FYI, USPS will forward those to UPS, but it takes a week or longer to deliver. That makes sense. Doing this so long, I've seen UPS go in USPS multiple times before. So I don't know their connection, but that's good to know, everybody. Christy's giving some good info. Blazers really depend on the style and the season for the for sure with blazers. So summer, spring, you're gonna be selling linen and deconstructed and cotton quite a bit, blazers. During the fall, In winter, more of that tweed, more of that heavy wool, cashmere, all that stuff. Do you list to eBay? Do you have to list on eBay to cross-list? The cross-list from Poshmark to eBay? No, so you can list on whatever platform you want. So on Nifty, you can list on whatever platform you want. And if you're just now coming in, I left the link at the beginning, but I'll do it again. So here's on your inventory. You can list on whatever platform you want. You can even list on Nifty, and it will list on all the platforms. But let's say you list everything on Poshmark. When you hit this sync button, it will sync in all your items from Poshmark. And then you cross-list from there. I list all mine from eBay on eBay, and it usually it sells pretty. I mean, it transitions pretty well. So when I cross-list over from eBay, I don't have to put in anything extra. But if you cross-list from Poshmark to eBay, you have to put in like an extra shipping policy. You have to just click and basically just have to click an extra couple buttons. Where when you're doing it from eBay, you just click one button like this. So like this Johnny O quarter zip, it just cross-lists it. So this is live on all those right now. Live on all those right now. And again, if you want to try it for free, I'll put a link in the description or in the chat. Paste. Sophia, can you remind me what app you use for making photo collage? Sure, it's called PicStitch. P-I-C Stitch. Again, I have the free version of it, so I just watch commercials here and there, but PicStitch is what I use. Do you ever go live to show your listing process? I don't, but I can tell you what I do. My listing process, here's a pair of really good brand to be on the lookout for. The brand is called Drake's. There's a D right there. You can see the D. The brand is called Drake's. Branded jeans. These are selvage. I took a best offer of $125 for these. $125. They're selvage. The brand's called Drake's. So what I do with listing, Becky, I have my photo. I have all my items ready to take photos. I take my photos and I keep them in my phone. Whenever I'm ready to list those items, I just go to my eBay and I find that item sells similar and I plug in the photos, plug in whatever thing's different, like the size or the colors, my shipping policy, and then hit list pretty much. Super easy. I do everything from my phone. These are going out padded flat rate. Made the UPS blunder with a $80 mother jean sale. USPS said they would forward it on, but it never tracked, and the buyer claimed it never received it, so I had a refund. Dang it. You know they eventually got it, Courtney, too. Dang it, that sucks. I mean, it's our fault, right? If we accidentally do that, it's our fault. I have a FedEx item. I need to remember I have a FedEx item down here. I need to make sure I do it right. I had to redonate a Brooks Brothers pink button-down dress shirt because it had a bleached pit stain. So sad. Yeah, pit stains are bad. Whenever I get a shirt, usually I'm always looking at the neck, the pits, and just make sure nothing's on the front. But pit stains, there are just certain people that are prone, they just have pit stains like the first time they wear the shirt. It's just part of it. These sold via Nifty for $34.20. Pair of Brooks. I love Brooks running shoes, sell so well for me, women's or men's. Brooks running shoes, these were $12. I leave the number on the bottom. They always sell. They sold, how much did I say they sold for? $34.20. And what I do with these, I'm going to wrap these up in a piece of paper. These pieces of paper like this are awesome. Those are on my Amazon link too. Thanks, teacher. You're welcome, Fred. I just give these a little once-time roll, and then I put them in a poly mailer. So I send all my tennis shoes in a poly mailer. I don't put them in a box. And they ship out just fine in a poly mailer. Never had any issues. If you ever want custom shirts, hoodies, or jerseys with your logo or community, I'd love to collab. No problem. Yeah, I'm not a logo and merch person. I never have since the beginning. It's actually funny. Nothing against those people, but like K-Way stopped doing it and Bearded. I always I'm not doing merch. To me, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm like, who wants to wear my stuff? I'm not selling merch to people. I'm not trying to make money off of that stuff. I'm not doing merch. But I know a lot of people do. It's totally cool. Like if you're Mr. Beast or you're like dude, people that actually want to wear your clothing, totally. But no one wants to wear Surf's Up Fines. I don't even want to wear Surf's Up Fines, but I appreciate that. Do you make do you make lists from? Oops, sorry, ignore that. Okay, Heather, I'll ignore it. Stop twitching. Stop showing the D on live. My bad, Carlos. Sometimes you just got to show the D on live. Make people jealous. That's $125 D, Carlos. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. But on your picture, does it say pick stitch or on the corner? No, it doesn't. So it doesn't say pick stitch anywhere on the picture when I do it. It doesn't say pick stitch anywhere on the picture. Next item I sold to a repeat buyer for $19.80. So that was a Nifty sale. These are a pair of Polo Ralph Lauren pants with the little pony horse right there. And they sold for $19.80. I paid $5 for them. So polo pants and polo shorts with the little pony right there does pretty well for me. These are going out ground. So I'll just put that in one of my little poly mailers right there. Thanks. Got to go pack up my weekend sales. Have a great week. You too, Becky. Have a great week. Hope everyone has a great week. It's gonna be a hot one in some places, I know. All right, that's going to John. It's been hot. It's just been hot. It's been hot. John, next item is this sold via Nifty for $31.50. This is a Tommy Bahama shirt, but it has the big hit on the back. $31.50. These used to sell a lot better for me. They still sell, size medium. But I'm telling you, if you got one with the embroidery on the back, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, I swear they all went for $50. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to sell these for $50 anymore. But it sold for $31.50. And if I'm correct, this one sold internationally. This did. So there's an international sale right there. Whoever was asking earlier. Easy peasy with eBay. You just put it in the envelope and put the little mailer on there or the little sticker label on there and it goes. So you don't have to do anything separate. I just noticed it when I clicked on the item. It says it's going to a mailing address. This is a good item to be on the lookout for. College wear right now. I sold 2 pieces of college wear over the week. This is a great tag. This is about 2004, maybe, something like that. And this is just a pullover Tar Heels, North Carolina Tar Heels. This sold for $32. It took a best offer, sold via promoted listing for $32. Paid $5, I think, for that. Probably $5. $5 for that. $32. So any well-known colleges, I'm picking stuff up, especially if it's branded, if it's vintage. Branded doesn't mean like a good brand like Nike, Under Armour. I'm not picking up like Coliseum or whatever brands like that. Not picking those up. We'll pick up some Champion. In fact, I think one of these that I sold was a Champion. Next item is this is a good one. This is rare. Glad you guys are sticking around. 159 of you on the different platforms. Glad you stick around because this is a good one. This is a Ralph Lauren rugby shirt. And this rugby shirt, Ralph Lauren sold for $72. Took a best offer of $72. Why did he get $72 for this Ralph Lauren rugby shirt? Because it's the actual Ralph Lauren rugby line. Ralph Lauren rugby. Now, don't get confused. There's a tag that looks just like this, and it says Rugby University or something. It's a wannabe. Has to say Ralph Lauren Rugby. They had this line for just a handful of years, and people collect it. This sold for $72. I bought it for $5. Am I all out of envelopes? That's okay. I ordered a whole bunch of new ones. Got them right here. Ordered a whole bunch of new ones while I was gone. Whoop. I must have my Tommy Bahama new with tags printed too high. Listen, I don't know, Fred. I don't look at me for Tommy Bahama sales. I don't have the best luck with Tommy Bahama. Never have. Those OGs have been following me for a long time. K-Way and I would always. At first, he didn't think Polo Ralph Lauren sold, and I didn't think Tommy Bahama sold. He found that Polo Ralph Lauren did sell. Tommy Bahama still sells for him. It doesn't sell well for me. I haven't cracked the code. It just doesn't sell that great for me. It's probably my photos. I think K-Way has some secret way to sell Tommy Bahama that he doesn't reveal. I do too. To be honest, though, I have talked about it. His pictures are really, really good, Tommy Bahama. And so now, hopefully, with my new setup, I'll be selling more of them as they take more of them. In fact, I'll show you. I just bought one. Barber shirt. This is a Barber. What's going on here? What's going on here? Malcolm. Did I put a thing on that? What on earth? Let's see. Might have messed something up. No. Let's make sure that's Steve. Steve, is that you? That's Steve. Okay, Steve, you're good. Who bought this one? Malcolm. What on earth? What's going on? Sorry, guys. Price too high. You know what I mean. I know what you mean. How to inventory your items so I can find... How do you inventory your items? Oh, man, there's so many ways. This is that pair of pants. What did I do with that? What did I put that bag somewhere? What did I do with that shirt? What did I do with that shirt? Help me, guys. Help me. Okay, I'll just do the rest over here for now. Oh, I didn't pack it. Okay, good. Idiot. What freaking idiot. All right, here's the shirt. $72. It's going away. How do I inventory my items? Good question. I do it a different way than you see most YouTubers do it. So I put all my items in like item bins. Consider it like a closet. So I don't skew my items. I don't pre-package my items. After I list an item, I will put it in a bin that's like it. So cargo shorts. Cargo shorts, I have a bin right here that has all cargo shorts in it. I just put it in the bin. Levi's new with tags. Levi's new with tags, I'll just put it in the Levi's new with tags bin. So that's how I have it. I have 80 bins and I know where everything is. So after I take a photo, I just put it in that like item bin. That's what I do. That's how I inventory. There's also a bin system where you can do a SKU, and there's a box system. There are lots of different ways. Just make sure you have a way that you can inventory. You just need to inventory one way or another. Price too high. Source keeps it real. I try to. I know I need more coffee. More Monster. More Monster. All right. Barber flannel. Barber, good brand to be able to look out for. You really want to look out for waxed jackets and vests. They do really well. This one sold for $19.99. $19.99. Flannel though. Remember? Hayride weather. Hayride weather shirt. Hayride weather. Sold to Robert Barber. I just listed that recently too. Just listed that recently. So Robert. Next sale was a weird brand. I sold one of these recently, I think too. Burma, whatever. I know you guys have seen this brand. Burma Bibas. I've seen this brand multiple times. I just pass it. This was silk, but also this really crazy, unique pattern. 100% silk, unique, vintage. I just couldn't pass it up. Sold for $22.99 via promoted listings. Shout out to you, keeping things alive and lit. Hey, thank you, FX. Hey, I tried to. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm tired today. I'm not going to lie. It might not seem like it, but I'm tired. That's how I do it. Except for sport coats and other items that need to be hung. I have a special closet for that. Fred, I have that too. Look, we do everything the same. I have that too. I have 2 different closets, which my wife loves. I have a closet upstairs for suits and blazers, and then I have a closet in a guest bedroom that has all my winter zip. Anything that's a zip, any zip jacket goes up in that closet. So winter zip jackets, any zip jackets go into that closet, even if it's a lightweight rain jacket. Joel Turtleson. This is a good brand. Turtleson. A lot of people skip over it. Good pattern. The only reason this sold for less is because it had a golf course logo on it. This sold for $18.99. If it didn't have that golf course logo on it, it would have probably gone for $22.99, something like that. Peter Millar type of price, maybe a little more. Amy, you do the exact same thing. You know what? I feel like I should do a video on how I do my inventory system, and people would probably just shit a brick. Like, no, that's awful. You can't do it that way. I'd be like, okay. You do you. Okay, next item. Sold this for $50. Where is this? Okay. $50. This is a Joseph Aboud, which I don't buy his stuff. Joseph Aboud, long trench coat, and I think it's wool and cashmere. Oh, it's 100% cashmere. 100% cashmere, long trench coat. I bought it for $10, sold it for $50. Sold it for $50. I'm fine with $50 on this. Could have held out for more. I don't care. I'm fine with $50 on this. And this is going out priority. This is going out a priority box. It was going out UPS. That's what I had it. But I saw it was going to Illinois. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather use USPS's box. Actually, international. So I'm shipping it to the international place in Illinois. That's why I went cheaper. Yeah, I mean, you know, it would. They're brick. Just blame us. That's how we do it. I know. We just blame us. Falling, and I'll be tuning in. Happy prosperity. Hey, thanks, Wendy. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. We're about learning from each other in here. Sometimes learn from me, and we laugh sometimes. We kid. We joke around a lot. All right. That one's going out. So that's 2. Ooh, and the next one too. That's 2 international sales out of 40 thing. I think 40 eBay sales. 2 international, and this is 3. So 3 international sales. This was an auto posture sale, sold for $26.88. These are some Polo Ralph Lauren patchwork shorts. So I sold some patchwork pants by Jose Banks, some patchwork shorts by Polo Ralph Lauren. That actually was not a Nifty sale. $26.88 is how I used to price things, and that was on my old floor. So that was just a regular sale. Sold via promoted listings. In a box. I know, Amy. That's a decent sized box too, girlfriend. Girlfriend, it was hot in Vegas. Hot. So 3 out of 40 international sales. I'll take it. Not bad. So far. It could be more. Gosh, this shirt right here. Last one. Polo Ralph Lauren, new without tags, is how I listed it. Because it's got the cut little tag right here. Sold for $29.99. I bought them all for $7 a pair. Don't cuss. Remember your mom is watching. Shoot. You guys don't know my dad. My dad, half his vocabulary is cussing. Half of his vocabulary is cussing. My mom doesn't cuss, though. It is a big box. It's big around here. That's what we do. Peter Millar. Peter Millar polo shirt. Happy to get rid of this right before spring or right before winter and fall. Really like to get rid of all of my Peter Millar. I have a ton. I really should just get the box out and retake pictures. Try living here. Oh, do you live there, Jennifer, in Nevada? Man, it'd be nice. It'd be nice, different time of year. I've been there in January before. Couldn't go in the pool. They had the pools closed. Troy, $22.99 via promoted listing on that one. Next item is a pair of men's Under Armour. These are like Under Armour tech pants. They're not golf. They're like tech pants. They say Storm right here, and they have this cargo pocket right here. That's a zip cargo pocket. I found these with some other like race pants because I live in Indianapolis. So these were probably like pit crew pants, something like that. Good morning, Joseph. Are Etro Rod and Gun Blazers still good sales? Etro is really good. Etro, if I'm thinking of the right brand, yeah, Etro, because I think I had an offer. Let me see. Rod and Gun, I don't do that well with, but they still sell, and depending on your cost of goods, right, can make a difference. All right, let's go to my eBay because I know I had an offer. eBay. Maybe not. Etro. I just want to look at the inside tag. It's the brand I'm thinking of. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Etro is super good. That's a really expensive brand. Etro. Yep. I would definitely pick up anything Etro. Rod and Gun Blazers, you have to look that up. How often do I ship? My shipping is 1 to 3 days on eBay. I ship probably 1 to 2 days. 1 to 2 days. But my eBay shipping is 1 to 3 days. I do that on purpose. Gives me some wiggle room in case something comes up. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren reverse terry cloth. So the inside feels like a towel, but the outside is like regular. It's a 2XB. It's like a coral color. Kind of have a bad view of it. It sold for $17.99. I don't buy a ton of Polo Ralph Lauren shirts that are just regular like this. In Nevada. Live in Nevada. Etro is great in women's as well. Yes, it is. Very, very high end. I remember I bought an Etro button shirt off of Whatnot before. Women's. And it was all over print. Some of them are like floral and all over. I did well on that one. Okay. Oh my gosh, this pile is high. 1980. Polo Ralph Lauren Auto Posture or Nifty sale Polo Ralph Lauren shirt. 1980. You guys know Polo Ralph Lauren. You know the deal. I have another one too. I have more. Ew, and this men's pair of cool pants. I've had this pair since last year. So definitely jeans are starting to sell. Polo Ralph Lauren shirt, and then a pair of cool jeans. You don't see cool jeans very often. There's your little cool right there. Pair of cool jeans. These sold for $27.99. $27.99. And those are going flat rate. Good. Take that off real quick. Flat rate, $7 flat rate. I really should have had it a little more. I'm surprised I didn't have those in a padded flat rate, being that they were older. I usually do most of my jeans padded flat rate. And the next shirt is Polo Ralph Lauren as well. This one sold for $24.99 because it's a 2XB. So it's a 2XB. It's an Oxford stretch, and it sold for $24.99 to a repeat buyer. How about that? Someone likes my folding. Look at that. Someone really enjoys my folding. Repeat buyer. How about that? Sweet. I picked up an Etro blazer and women's slacks with a bonus Polo Ralph Lauren blazer made in Italy for $9.99 each. Good. Yes, Etro is a great brand. And that, Joseph, that's one of those brands that thrift stores don't know about. Thrift stores don't know about. You just don't see it very often. You don't hear people talking about like, ooh, I got that new Etro blazer. It's not one of those things. Notre Dame polo shirt. So this is good because actually this is a third college, I guess, thing because I have one down there. Notre Dame college polo shirt. So I took $30 on this, new with tags, Under Armour. There were new with tags at Under Armour at Ross in Vegas for $14.99. New with tags, Under Armour, $14.99. I posted that on Facebook and Instagram. So that's why my Under Armour bin is not selling for a whole bunch of money. That bin right there. I might even need to drop those to $5 a piece. Get rid of them. Because that's just $5. It's not doing anything. Next item is a cool. This is the last eBay item before we do Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. Another cool. This is a quarter zip fleece. Quarter zip fleece. And I actually Google Lensed it, and it gave me the model number, which was nice. I Google Lensed it. It's called the Interceptor. Interceptor fleece. So I didn't just have to put quarter zip fleece. Could actually give it a name. It deserved a name. And that's going ground in one of these eBay bags. That's the first pair of jeans I've seen you mention. How well do you sell jeans? So in this live, I think I shipped 2 pairs of jeans. I sell jeans really well, but I don't list jeans until like fall. Like right now is when I start listing jeans. So I don't list jeans during the summer months. And now I start listing them, and now they start selling too. Like those cool jeans I've had listed since last winter, and they just sold. And then those draped jeans I sold earlier for $150, those were a good sale too. I'm curious about your process for high-value items. I always add insurance and a signature confirmation, but do you do anything extra for those expensive sales to protect yourself and the buyer? Chris, I normally don't unless when I used to do like expensive antiques and stuff, I would. Clothing, I don't. There's really nothing that expensive. Like the only time I'd buy insurance and signature confirmation would be if I sold something for maybe over like $500, something like that. Yeah, that's what I'd probably do. There you go. Audra said, cool has a an item number on the inside tag. I know most brands do. If it had an item name like Arc'teryx, I think has an item name. Oh, no, Viore. One of those brands has an item name. I think Arc'teryx. That makes it easier. That makes it easy. I need a new job. Thoughts and prayers that my application goes through. Jens, prayers for you. Thoughts and prayers. Get that new job. You got it. You got this. You got this new job. We're praying and hoping for you. Last college item that sold was a Champion, and this is Cornell. Anytime I find an Ivy League school that's a Champion Ivy League crew neck sweatshirt, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. This sold for $21 on Mercari. So anytime I find an Ivy League Champion crew neck, I'm buying it for $5. That one sold for $21. Fun fact, my uncle went to Cornell. My uncle went to Cornell for like something crazy. Something crazy. My uncle was super smart, obviously. And that's going FedEx. So I got to make sure that goes to the side. And then on Depop, I did have a sale. Polo Ralph Lauren shirt on Depop. And that sold for $18 on Depop. How about that? Positive vibes, sit your way, Jen. There you go. people are sending positive vibes your way. That's what we want. Yeah, I know. If you guys pay attention to the economy and stuff, it's so different. You know, it's like two tails out there. Like, economy's doing well, but then you hear like the job market's it's just back and forth. I don't really know. I don't really know. You hear so many different things. All right, I have 4 Poshmark sales. I'll put them all up here right now. I'll start off with my least expensive Poshmark sale, which was a pair of Duluth Trading shorts, which again, I'm happy to get rid of these before the fall. Duluth Trading shorts, I've had these for a minute. These sold for $17 on Poshmark. Got to make sure you use a priority envelope since it's sold on Poshmark. So Duluth shorts, these are $3.99. They were a bigger size, and they have that canvas feel to them. That canvas feel. And remember, Poshmark takes 20%. So if you're new to watching this and you haven't cross-listed off to Poshmark takes 20% compared to eBay's like 13 to 14 if you're not promoting. Okay. Another cool thing about eBay Open is they had in the expo hall, they had a station everywhere. So you could talk to eBay representatives in person about anything. They could look at your store and see like what you need to improve on. They could look at your feedback. They could look at like any of those questions that like, oh, I can't get a hold of the. They were at Open. They were all there. Like hundreds of eBay people. Next item is a Vineyard Vines on the go. So Vineyard Vines on the go performance shirt. I don't think this has a pony or a little, not a pony, but a little whale. No whale right there. And it probably has one down here somewhere. It does. It has a little whale down at the bottom. So those don't sell quite as well. Still sold for $22 though. So I'll be happy with that. I'm happy with that. $22 on that. Paid $5. $5 on that one. And then I sold 2 pairs of shoes on Poshmark, which is great because I get to use those Poshmark boxes, which is nice. So I did sell. The comps on these weren't that great on these Cole Haan boots, but I decided to buy them anyway. So these Cole Haan leather boots, and they're waterproof. They're not Gore-Tex. They say waterproof. Gore-Tex is a certain material. These were $9. And you would think for $9, like, oh, those are tons of money. They sold for $38. So $38 isn't a ton. I thought these would sell for more. But Cole Haan leather boots that are waterproof, the comps weren't great. Maybe it's because of the time of year, too. That could be it. But I am going to wrap these up. Got to be safe, you know. Did they mention any changes at the Open with regards to the not as described claims? I thought I heard they were. Yeah, I think someone said it. You can rewatch this later. I talked about Open quite a bit at the beginning, but I did not go to a ton of the talks. I went to the keynotes, most of the keynotes. I just didn't go to a lot of the talks because I was kind of focusing on like making sure I get mine right, since people are there, like people are paid for a ticket to see what I had to say. Like, so I wanted to make sure I gave them the best I could. So I really just made sure I was tuned in. So I didn't go to a ton of the talks, but I did go to some of the keynotes. Did you already talk about the delist relist discussion at eBay Open? I didn't, but I know that was in one of the breakout groups about like, I think people said the relist does not help you. I think, Audra, is that what it was? But I did not talk about it. I did not see it either. I'm pretty sure eBay is going to have a replay of the whole thing. At least that's what Kathy said, who is my partner, she knows everyone at eBay. She's like an eBay guru. She does those seller circles and everything. She knows everything about eBay. All right. She knows more about some things at eBay than like eBay knew. She had to inform them on some stuff. Last sale, $117 on this next sale. When you started with eBay, how long did it take you to build up your store enough to the point where you could quit your job and make a living with eBay? So it's different for every person, Heather. For me, it was when I was making about the same as a teacher. But I know, I don't know if it's Gary Vee or someone else. There's like a percent. Let's say you make 50% of your income on your 40-hour a week job doing a 10-hour a week job or a 15-hour a week job. Sometimes they say you could quit your full-time job and put those hours into that other side hustle or whatever that was and make more than your full-time job. But for me, it was until I made the same amount. And it wasn't my goal to quit my full-time teaching job. It was just an option I always knew I had. And it just played out that way with what was going on in life. Do you like Poshmark boxes more than other boxes? What do you like, Amy D? Do you like bigger boxes, longer, like wider boxes, longer boxes, skinny boxes? I like skinny boxes, to be honest, real skinny ones. I'll rewatch it for sure. Is there any way to rewatch a part of the Open? I was out. Yeah, I'm going to try to find out. I heard they're going to put it up somewhere. I'll try to find it. Nick, where you been? I think the buyer will have to provide more specific photos for not as described. Yes. For parts of items 3-day return. Yes. So I know they did do something not as described. And the buyer does have to provide photos. Now that you're saying that, I think that does make sense. For parts items had 3 days to return it. Got it. 3 days return. What's up, E-Bliss? It was awesome chatting with you. Wham Bam. Keep up the great work. Yeah, I know. Wham Bam. So E-Bliss. Let's talk about it. Before I pack these last items. So E-Bliss met at Open. Really cool business model. So eBay, obviously eBay seller and stuff. But what he does is he has a warehouse. And he has people that don't have space, mostly electronics. If you're selling like small TVs or VCRs or VHS, whatever, DVD players, he stores them for you like a fulfillment like Amazon does, but for eBay. So you get that VCR listed, you ship it to him, he stores it for you until it sells. Once it sells, he ships it. So you just pay the storage fee. So if you don't have any room, he fulfills it. You ship it to him, he holds it, and he'll ship it when it sells. Really cool. Like, that's what you get at eBay Open. You get these things like, what? I've never heard of anything like that. That's crazy. Like, that's like Amazon. That's what eBliss does. So if you do sell electronics, you can talk to eBliss about that. If you want to do a model like that, send them in. Yeah, some controversy over them saying relist actually hurts you. Sounds weird. Haven't watched. Tuition Ain't Cheap, I think, shared. Yeah, she shared some of that info. I saw that too. I've been so busy since I've been back. I haven't read up a lot on any of that. I'm more interested in what's going in the box. Amy, I know you are. I know you are because you're the keeper of them. You have the box. Someone would put your talk link. Someone put your talk link in the search reseller community. Is it still active? I wonder if it's still active. We really need the whole thing, right? So we can so everyone can rewatch like the keynotes and some of those things. Amy sells eggplants. Isn't that against eBay's policies? Yeah, Amy, what are you doing selling eggplants? We know. Nick, we know what she's doing over there. All right, last sale. A pair of Tory Burch shoes. I got these for free. One of my friends, she said, hey, I never wore these. I forget if they were given to her, she bought them or whatever. She's like, I wore them like one time. Never wore these Tory Burch shoes. You can just have them. I'm like, no. She's like, nope, you can just have them. I don't want them. So she gave me these Tory Burch shoes. They sold for $117 on Poshmark. So appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's a good reason to tell people like, hey, I'm a reseller or I sell stuff on eBay or whatever. A lot of people would rather help you out or give it to you than donate it. Right? Right? I am going to put these in 2 separate bags. I actually might even... Oh, they're not selling eBay, so I won't do that. I'll put them in 2 separate bags. What's up, buddy from Disney World? What's up, Annabelle? I love Disney World so much. I love Disney World. My wife is trying to talk me into going to Disneyland. I'm like, I don't know about that. I like Disneyland. I mean, I'm sure I like it, but so far, for like a park way out there, I don't know if I could do that. I got Disney World. You got everything in one spot. You got all the parks, all the fun stuff. So 114 for these Tory Burch shoes. They don't have that like Tory Burch logo, but they're leather with that gold little accent right there, which is pretty nice. I got to make sure I put some more paper in there. I want to make sure these do not get hurt in shipping since they have that little gold. Also, Poshmark. Shout out to Poshmark. I put in some shoes. I put the size and everything. Someone said they didn't fit, and they wanted to return them. And on Poshmark, they started a case, and I put in there, I said, I put the size, the pictures show the size. There's nothing else I could have done. And Poshmark went with me, and they said, you don't have to accept the return and release my money. So hats off to you, Poshmark. My eBay was dead this weekend. Sold like 10 things on Posh, though. Even Facebook Marketplace orders. Nope problem. You know what? Nick and some other people right here, Nick, had really good sales on Poshmark, too. So Poshmark was doing something this weekend. Everyone was buying on Poshmark. eBay, sorry you had slow sales. Hopefully this week gets better. I know here soon, Labor Day coming, everything coming up. Sales should pick up, especially on those hayride items. But that's it, everybody. Appreciate you coming in. If you're just now joining, you rewatch this. I talked about eBay Open and all sorts of stuff earlier. So appreciate you guys coming in. Big crowd today. I'll be on later this week, probably like Wednesday. I don't know when for sure, but I'll be on again packing. I also want to do like a later night pack because I talked to some people at Open that are on the West Coast, and having been on Pacific Standard Time while I was out there, I can get it why people are like, I can't watch your lives. I get it. It's real early. So appreciate you guys. I will see